We all got skills. We have talents and we have passions. But mine happens to be sex. This is the Funsexual podcast with your oversharing swinky best friend, Majesty. And I'm talking sex and all of the ways and all of the things that make sex, well, fun. Hola, mi amigos. Welcome to episode 45 of the Funsexual podcast with your host, Majesty, aka the play party princess, aka the sexy sweetheart, aka the wholesome hoe, aka a fistful of fun, aka the cultivator of good motherfucking vibes. Hi, babies. How are you guys? I am really happy to be recording this episode right now. One, because I did not give you guys an episode last week. I was so busy preparing for this move to Mexico that I just did not have I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit down and record. I couldn't come up with an outline. I could not sit down and I couldn't do it. So I took a break, but I'm here. I am in Mexico for the month, so y'all going to get a couple episodes while I'm here. So if it's looking a little different, that's why. If you're hearing some sounds, you got some sounds outside. We got some people, in the hallway, whatever, the apartment. Like there are going to be sounds and noises. It's going to sound different. It's going to look different. Acoustically, it's different. So bear with me, but you know what I'm saying? I still got some good motherfucking content for y'all. So it's still gonna be a vibe. It's still gonna be a vibe. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you to all of the people that have been rocking with me, whether you've been rocking with me from the beginning, whether you are a friend, whether you are a former coworker, whether you are someone that randomly stumbled upon me one day. Thank you for rocking with me. I am actually very close to hitting 10,000 followers on Instagram, which is a really big milestone for somebody doing things in social media. 10,000 is a pretty big milestone, especially for me. I'm really excited about that. I'm amazed that I've been able to create that. And my Instagram following is not just like a following of people that don't interact. Like y'all really be interacting. So it's dope. We get to have conversations and people be telling me their stories and people be hitting me up for advice and shit. And I be like, y'all be wanting advice from little old me, little old Majesty. So I really love y'all. I really fucks with y'all and I really rock with y'all. It's Women's History Month. Happy Women's History Month. I want to do something really cool. I'm still working out the kinks on it. The kinks. But I do want to do something special for Women's History Month, so I'm trying to figure out how that's going to work. But because I didn't give y'all an episode last week, right, I say, let me start off with a little story about something that happened to me, right? So, yeah, I get on this mic and embarrass myself. Anyway, 2 weeks ago, I'm playing with somebody, right? And I'm sucking his dick. And then he's about to come. He's like, where do you want me to come? And I'm like, you can come on my face, right? So I get down, and the way I was on the bed, I was kind of like laying to the side a little bit. And so he's jerking off, right? And he comes, and it's and it just gets like all on my, like the side of my face, slightly in my hair, but a glob of it just shoots right directly into my ear to the point where it like blocks my eardrum. So you know how you like when you go swimming and you get water in your ear, when you just get water in your ear, you're like this, trying to get it out. Why did I have to do that? I'm hitting my other ear, trying to knock the cum out of my ear to the point where it bust, and then it busted. But it like bust and then like dripped and oozed out of my disgusting. The sensation, the way I felt about the sensation, the closest thing that I can think of is like pulling a piece of hair out of your ass crack that make you go like, ugh, like that, or when a pussy sucks a condom off a dick, you have to go in there and fish it out, and you pulling it out, and it's just like, ugh. That is exactly the sensation that I felt as this man's cum is dripping and oozing out of my ear. And I hope you listen to this. gonna make this a clip because you're gonna see this. You are going to fucking see this. So, every time I think that everything that could possibly happen has happened, something new happens, and I'm like, sharing that on the podcast, and that's why I'm here. I live through these things, so y'all don't have to. You're fucking welcome. You're fucking welcome. Y'all need to be paying me for this shit at this point. Okay? So let's check in. What has been happening since the last time we spoke? One of my really good friends and play partners and someone that I love and adore and care about so much had a little play party at their house. And these were all of the people that were at this party were people who are like partners of mine or in the group that I'm in, the smaller group that I'm a part of. And so these are all people that I feel very comfortable with. Most of the men in the house I've at least had sex with. Most of the women I've played with to some degree. Like it was a whole little vibe we had going on. And we had a pretty good night. Two things happened that night, though. One good thing. The good thing is I got fisted. It was great. I got fisted on a pool table. It was phenomenal, okay? Whew. And the second thing that happened, I realized that I think I'm burned out of play parties, for real. Like, I have been thinking it for the last, month or so. But I think I'm burned out. I'm a bit burned out. And I feel like my pussy is just not even pussy in the way pussy usually pussy. So it's feeling like it's time for me to take a break from play parties. And so that's really perfect. The fact that I am in Mexico right now because I'm away from the play parties. I'm not really even out here trying to fuck on nobody. Like I'm just here. I just needed a break. I just needed a woosah. I needed a reset. I needed some space to like think and breathe. And so I'm really happy to be here and be getting this reset that I need. Cause my pussy just ain't been pussy in the way pussy usually pussy. She ain't been getting as wet as she usually do. She don't be getting as happy and excited and throbby as she usually do. Like every once in a while there's a situation, but there are times when I'm like, ooh, I want to masturbate. Now would be a good time to masturbate. And usually I could just pull out a toy and just go at it. But lately she ain't been pussy in the way she usually pussy. So I don't know what that's about. And I'm sure we're going to have to figure it out sooner or later. So more to come on the pussy, how the pussy going to be pussying. But what else happened since the last time we talked? That was a really weird noise. I don't know why I made that one. I finally went to, so if you guys are on Twitter or on Instagram, but they're mostly active on Twitter from what I know, Cups and Convos. They have these adult game nights in New York, and they do these like, sometimes you'll see these videos on Twitter where they'll like ask a question and a whole bunch of people will be sitting down like answering that question or whatever, and they'll just clip it one by one, whatever. And some of them are kind of like sex shamey, some of them are kind of ignorant, but some of them are pretty good questions, and not even the questions, but the answers. Some of them are pretty good answers, but some of them get a little bit, I don't know about that. Anyway, Cups and Convos, they had a game night. I finally went to one of their game nights. I've been wanting to go for a minute, but COVID and everything else that was happening in the world, so I just never made it. I finally went to one of their game nights, and it did not disappoint. I had a really, really good time. That game night was it was a Friday night? Yeah, it was a Friday night. I had a really good time. I enjoyed kicking some ass in Connect 4. I got my ass kicked a little bit in Connect 4, but we're going to talk about that because I'm supposed to be a Connect 4 whiz. But I had some other friends that ended up showing up, and I actually ran into somebody that had a very familiar face. So I'm hanging out, I'm talking to some of my friends. This guy walks up to me and he's like, Maj. And I was like, your face looks so familiar, but I just can't quite place it. I was like, where do I know you from? He was like, hard or soft? And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, the podcast, the play party, the live show, like from what? So I was like, what? Hard or soft, what? He was like, one of their play parties. And I said, oh. So then in my mind, I'm like, did I fuck this nigga and I can't remember? I did not fuck this nigga. There's literally no way that I fucked this nigga and I can't remember. So I was like, okay, which party? And he said, verbatim, he said, the one where you had a fist in your asshole. And I said, This is what I said. Look at my face. This is what I said. If you are not watching on YouTube, look up the Funsexual podcast on YouTube. Anyway, so I said, actually, it wasn't in my asshole. It was in my pussy. He was like, excuse me. And we just like laughed. And then I was like, holy shit. People know me as a girl that had a fist in her asshole or her pussy at a party. What the fuck? I'm disappearing. I'm running and hiding into a corner for the next forever because what the shit? That happened. So that was a very interesting and humbling experience. But I digress. It was cool. He was definitely a sweetheart. But the game night was fun. That entire weekend actually ended up being a really fun weekend for me. It was my last weekend home before I left to come out here. And it was funny because my mind was so focused on like just trying to have fun because I knew I was leaving and all of the stress of packing and all of the shit that I had to do in the days, like not even in the hours before I was leaving. Like it was a busy, stressful week before I got here. And my mind was just on like, come here, have fun, don't think about nothing, you ain't worried about people. So I literally was not trying to like bag anybody. I was not even really looking to see I wasn't even paying attention to see if people were cute. I was just there and I just wanted to play games, have a little drinky drink and just have fun. I left there having bagged more dudes than I normally would when I go out. I very rarely give out my number. When I get dressed up and I go out there seeking attention and stuff like that, I feel like I don't get attention. But I was there not looking for any attention and it just kept finding me. And I was like, what is up with this? Why can't this happen when I actually want it? So I feel like it's something there. It's like when I don't want it, that's when I get it. And when I want it, I don't get it. Maybe the universe is telling me, bitch, you can't always have what you want. And I don't like that. I want to get what I want. Anyway, so I ended up leaving that game night and I went to TYP because I was spending the night there and they actually ended up having a play party there that night. So I ran into some friends that I knew and I wasn't there playing. I was literally there in the most clothes that I've ever worn in this house. I had a dress that was basically like a turtleneck and it was long sleeve and it went past my knees down to my calves. Like I was fully, and in like tube socks. I don't think there was any skin showing besides my face, my hands, and maybe this much of my fucking like shin. I was fully clothed here. And, people were playing and I'm in like the seating area in the front, like where the bar is, whatever. And I'm sitting on the couch and I'm talking. I'm really tired at this point, but I'm just talking. I'm just vibing, hanging out. They were actually a surprisingly large amount of very attractive black men. Now, this wasn't a TYP party. This was someone else who was throwing a party there. There were a lot of very attractive, bald-headed black men at this play party. One of them in particular, dick was looking right. And I was like, damn, I wish I was in the mood to fuck because I would be fucking on you. And he was giving me the eye. We were talking a little bit. And I'm saying, could have got a little vibe going, but I wasn't in that kind of mood. And I wish that I was. But if we're meant to run into each other again, we will. And I'm going to ride that dick. Anyway, so I'm sitting there talking and this guy keeps kind of making eyes at me. And he, at one point was saying he was about to leave. So when he was about to leave, at that point I was going to like sit on the couch and chill out. And then he ended up coming on the couch and sit next to me. And we ended up talking and catching a little vibe or whatever. And it was getting late. I started like falling asleep and, we exchanged numbers, whatever. And then the next day, I promise this story is going somewhere. I got to explain my weekend. Anyway, so the next day, he ends up texting me, or that night he ends up texting me, whatever, and we decided to link up for a drink the following day, right? So we do that, link up for that little drinky drink, and while we're at this bar, which was a bar that I picked that was just down the street from TYP, a random bar in Bushwick. It's not a random bar, but a bar in Bushwick right down the street from TYP. I just didn't want to travel far, and that's why I picked that bar. I'm talking to him, catching a vibe. We're having a drink. We're laughing. We're dancing. It's cool. Literally, at one point, I look over towards the door just because, eyes wandering, and in walks the young man that was eating my pussy in a taxi in Jamaica. Y'all remember that from, was that 2 or 3 episodes ago? Yes, that same young man walked through the door in this random bar in Brooklyn on a random Saturday. Mind you, first of all, I don't live in Brooklyn. I basically live in Brooklyn, but I don't live in Brooklyn. I live in South Jersey near Philly. This nigga lives in DC. So the fact that we ran into each other in this bar in Brooklyn was like, what the shit is going on? Then, you know, he walked in with some friends. We see each other and we're like, hey, what the fuck? Hey. So we're talking, I'm like, what are you doing out here? So we're having that conversation or whatever. Excuse me. And then he was like, yeah, I'm here with some of my friends. So he introduced me to his friends or whatever. And then I was like, well, I was like, I'm here right now with somebody, but when I leave here, I'm actually going to, there's a party happening. It was a party at TYP, not a play party. It was like a dance party at TYP. And I was like, I'm actually going to a party that's down the street. If you guys have nothing to do, you know, you guys are more than welcome to come to this party. So he's like, cool, you know, let me know when you're leaving. I was like, maybe like an hour and a half or so. So when I was ready to leave, I found him and I was like, hey, I'm going to get ready to head to the party. You know, if you guys want to finish your drinks, y'all, you know, come on or whatever. So they're finishing their drinks. And so him and I are having some conversation. And then he makes mention of his girlfriend. And I was like, oh, you got a girlfriend? I didn't know you had a girlfriend. Like, and it's fine that you have a girlfriend, but like, funny that we spent so much time fucking and talking in Jamaica and I just had no idea that you had a girlfriend. It never came up. And she was white, which is fine, but it was like, I ain't fuck with you back in the day because I had a feeling that you only fucked with white bitches and that was not a thing. I don't know. It's weird for me. Like, I don't care if you have sex with white women, but if you like exclusively fucked with white women, it would be weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit racist sometimes. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it was like, you got a white girlfriend? Why? You know? Anyway. So that happened. And only that happens to me. Only shit like that happens to me. But I digress. Now we're here in Mexico. The weather is beautiful. It's probably 85 degrees outside, 83 degrees outside. I feel amazing. Look at the little skimpy clothes that I can wear. I can't wear this at home right now. It's probably snow on the ground. I don't know. It's definitely cold. The food, oh my God. Every time I come to Mexico, this is probably my 4th time in Mexico, and every time I come here, the food is so fucking good. I don't know what they be doing to this beef, but that beef be beefing, boy. What is so good? I love coming here, okay? I don't got to spend a whole bunch of money. A meal could be $10. A whole meal can be $10. I'm not mad at this situation at all. Now, hear me out. The food been so good. Everything been so lovely. My ass might not come back. I might not come back. I don't know. I can't make any promises to say that I will. Can't say that I won't. But if I don't be surprised. I've said it several times. Okay. The food is so good that, like, let me tell you how fucking good the food is. I went to this restaurant that's not too far from where I'm staying. And I like spicy food. And I have a decent tolerance for spicy foods, right? I was eating this taco and they gave me this red sauce. And I'm putting it on a taco. Like, at first I tasted it and I was like, ooh, it got a little spice to it. This is good. But it was like so flavorful and delicious. I was like, oh my gosh. So I took it and I put it on this taco. And then I'm eating this taco. And halfway through this taco, maybe a third through this taco, I was like, my mouth is hot. And not just is my mouth hot, but my ears are hot. My eyes are watering. My nose is running. I am turning red. This is some spicy ass shit. It is hot. It is spicy as hell. I think my ears are itching thinking about it again. This was hot. Now, usually when I eat food that's that hot, like, my mouth gets so hot that I don't want to eat anymore, because once something gets too hot, you can't even taste. All you feel is hell on your tongue. But this was different, because although my tongue was under hell, my tongue was licking the bottom of hell, licking the bottom of the boots of hell, it was still so flavorful that I just kept on eating it, and my mouth was just hot. My whole existence was fucking hot. And you know what else was hot? My fucking asshole for 24 hours after that. Okay? Shitting fire. It was spicy in there. Caliente. Okay? Mucho fuego. It was hot. Very, very hot. But the food is so good that you just want to eat it regardless. That sauce in particular was it had so much flavor, but so much heat in there. It was really hot. But yeah, if I don't come back, understand that I'm living my best Mexican life. Understand that, no, I don't speak Spanish, but I'm going to work on that. Okay. Y'all should have heard me trying to order my iced grande oat milk matcha latte with extra matcha and a little bit of honey the other day. It was ridiculous. I went to the Starbucks. There's a Starbucks actually not far from me. And I told the lady, I said, mi español no bueno, but I'm gonna try. And she said, oh, don't worry about it. I speak English. I said, no. I was like, I need to practice, so I'm gonna try. And she was like, okay. So she listens to me struggling through this order. And she's like she wanted to help me so bad. And she would throw out words to help me and then, you know, explain different things. But then she was like, you could just order in English. I was like, fuck, all right, let me just order in English because I'm holding up your line and I know you don't get paid for this. And you're not a tutor or a teacher. But I be trying. And when I try, I've noticed that when I try to speak Spanish, like in restaurants and stuff, the people don't be with it. I be like, my Spanish is not bad, but I'm going to try. Right. And they'll be with me for like 10 seconds and then they be like, kind of like, all right, speak English, just get it out. Like, no, let me work on this. You know what I'm saying? I might be a resident. I might be your cousin showing up at your family functions next summer. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? I need to be able to speak the language. I need to be able to play dominoes with y'all or some shit. Like, I don't know. Do Mexicans play dominoes? I don't know. But like, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually trying to learn, and not in an ignorant way. I'm actually trying to learn because, motherfucker, I'm about to be here for the next 26 days. Like, I need to learn something. I need to at least at a minimum be able to order food without struggling. So we are working on that. It's going okay, but we have a lot of work to do. Okay? Y'all are all caught up. Okay. So let's actually get into this episode. So, here's what I want to talk about today, this week, on this episode of the Funsexual podcast with your host, Majesty. There is something that I have seen a lot of more lately. And I feel like I have mentioned it several times. And this is not to the people that are doing it. It is more to the people that are seeing it that don't know better. Okay? And I'm going to blame social media for this because social media got a lot of people thinking that they are professionals. You've watched 5 1-minute clips on Instagram TV, and now you think that you are a fucking professional. That needs to stop. That is an insult to the people who have invested their time and their money into learning and perfecting and mastering their craft or their skill. Y'all need to stop doing that shit. Okay? Learn the craft. Practice the craft. Pay a mentor to teach you said craft. If you don't know it, pay someone to teach you. There's probably someone to teach you. Honestly, you can go for free on the University of YouTube and learn so much stuff and not just like surface level learn things. You can really dig deep and learn things if you go to YouTube, if you read a book. But don't watch something for one day and then think that you are a master or a pro and should be charging for this service that you can now provide. It's kind of crazy. And I'm speaking more specifically in the kink spaces. That shit is dangerous. It is dangerous for you to not know what you are doing and to have people come into you for a service thinking that they're going to a professional and you really don't know shit. And I'm talking to the doms out there. I am talking to the people who are doing rope out there. I am talking to people who are doing fucking cupping out there. I'm talking to people who are doing tantric work out there. I'm talking to people doing energy work, electric play, different forms of edge play. Like, please master your craft before y'all are taking people on. And I'm speaking to the new people. Well, I was just speaking to the people, but I'm speaking to the new people because y'all also have a responsibility when you are like paying somebody for a service or something, or wanting to experience these different, acts of kink and BDSM with somebody. It is also your responsibility to vet this person. It is your responsibility to ask them, do they have references? Someone who has been doing this work will have references and more than likely will not have a problem sharing a reference or a few with you. It is your responsibility to ask them, what training have they had? They should have had some form or some level of training. If somebody can't tell you what training they had, that might be a sign that you should I don't know about this, ask them, how long they've been doing whatever it is that they've been doing. Like vetting is super duper important. Vetting is really, really important. And so for the new people, because I feel like over the last 2 years, we're going to say COVID, during COVID time, so many people came into the swinger community and into the BDSM community and kink in general. I don't really know what that is. I want to figure out what, is it we were bored sitting at home and making content and people jumped in? I don't really know what the thing was that kickstarted so many people coming in, but there have been a lot of new faces in the spaces that I have been in lately. And that's cool and great. And I love that and all. That's awesome. Welcome. But be careful who you are learning and experiencing under. Honestly, that's why when I host events and when I'm a part of different events, I really take it on my shoulder and take it on my back to teach people about the space and teach people their power in this space, that they are not powerless in this space, and that whatever experiences that they want to experience, they should feel comfortable and encouraged to go and ask for that and to go seek it out. Y'all know I'm a huge advocate for pleasure, especially women, especially Black women going out and seeking whatever pleasures it is that they want to experience. Excuse the dog barking. But the newbies coming into this space all fresh and green and cute, I like to take that on my back to be this is, here's an understanding of consent. Before you even get here, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. If you want to initiate play with somebody, this is what it looks like. You can say no at any time. Having that background of stuff. But I feel like some people are jumping in. They go to one play party. Now they think they're a play party fucking professional and, are bringing people into this space. And then I'm seeing things that are happening and seeing people interacting, or seeing how somebody interacts with me at a play party. And I'm like, where did you come into the lifestyle that you think that this is an acceptable way to do this? What? Who is teaching you this? So, to the new people, y'all are so green, and we are so happy to have y'all here. But please, ask questions, okay? Ask questions. To the new people that are wanting to master something, learn it. Take your time. The lifestyle will still be here. And my concern is that so many people want to monetize on it so fast and so quickly that's why they are rushing and not taking the time to learn and not taking the time to master crafts. And then, ready? They bring these newbies on under them and teach them all the wrong ways of doing shit. And then guess what? Those newbies become, a little bit more advanced, a little bit more intermediate people in the lifestyle and community. And they bring people in and teach them the wrong way because that's the way that they were taught. And they don't know that it's fucking wrong. This is what I am seeing. This is what I'm seeing. And this is why, no shame to the newbies and the newbie parties. This is why I prefer to go to the parties that I go to with the people that I know, because I can avoid all of that shit. I don't always want to be in teacher mode when I go to a play party. Sometimes I want to be in hoe ass mode. I just want to get fucked and watch other people get fucked, right? Sometimes I want to play, but the way that I've interacted in some spaces with people, some people that I can tell are obviously new, is like, all right, let's have a teachable moment real quick because we need this, you know? Don't trust everybody with your life, you know? Don't trust everybody with your life. Some people are engaging in different forms of play that can hurt you very badly, and ask people for references and resources. Vet the people that you are trying to play with, please. I beg of you. Ask questions. That is my tip. That was a tidbit that I really wanted to give to some of the newbies and some of the newer people in the community. It's fun here, you know? If you are listening or watching this podcast, hello, my name is Majesty, okay? The Funsexual podcast, my name in this community, it rings bells. I'm not going to lie, my name rings bells of the people who are actually active in this community. If you don't know me, you've probably seen me. You have me on FetLife or on Instagram or on Twitter. You've heard the podcast. You've seen me on someone else's podcast. You've attended an event, something, okay? If you want to know something, if you are looking for a source, if I don't know somebody who does it high level, I know someone who knows somebody that does it high level. Tap into your resources, okay? Don't just go to the first person that's posting a thing on Instagram and assume that they know what they're talking about. Now, I'm not, and this is not to any particular person. This is a trend that I am seeing, and I know that it is harmful. It is hurtful. People can get hurt physically. People can get hurt mentally, emotionally, and psychologically if you don't know what the fuck you are doing in this space. Okay? That was the tidbit that I wanted to, that is a tidbit that I wanted to give you guys this week for this episode. Now, let me put y'all on. There we go, the camera right there. Let me put y'all on. This week, I am going to be putting y'all on to an event that I am so excited to attend by people that I adore so much. So, Experience Covet, which is a travel-based kink group, is hosting their Plaisirs, which translates to the Pleasures. It is an erotic opera happening May 20th in LA. It is black tie attire, which I know. Let me tell y'all something about the Covet members, which I am a Covet member. Shameless plug, Experience Covet. The Covet members are fine, okay? And as great as y'all look without clothes, I can't wait to see y'all in this black tie attire. Y'all motherfuckers gonna be fine as hell, okay? So yes, please, you don't have to be a member to come to Les Plaisirs, the erotic opera. The event, first of all, Covet's promotion and like marketing their videos and shit be A1. They just have such good taste. Shout out to you, Boone. Great. They just have great taste, and they have a vision, and they have stuck to that vision, and it comes through, and it translates, and it's dope. No, the erotic opera is not a play party. Again, it is not a play party. They had to reinforce that a couple times. It's not a play party situation. It is, think the Met Gala, but black and way more sexy. That's what this is going to be. And it's going to be amazing. I've seen some of the people who are going to be having performances at this event. And y'all, it's going to be dope. So again, that is going to be May 20th in LA. And when I post this episode, I'll also share some links and stuff like that for anybody who's interested. You don't have to be a member of Covet to attend, but I do recommend becoming a member of Covet if you are interested in high level interested in becoming or if you are, in the kink community, a Black person in the kink community looking for more community, or, are interested in learning something and meeting some people and people who do this shit high level, people who do this shit, not people who are just like scratching the surface, really dope community of people. I love them. They're awesome. Now, this week for the playlist, what is the playlist? Check it out on Spotify. Play the Funsexual Play, PLAY list. Okay, it's not just a playlist of just songs. It is songs to play to. Okay, this week we are adding "You Right" by Doja Cat featuring The Weeknd. You right, can't have it on you. Okay, so we are adding that song to the playlist this weekend because that song is kind of fire. You know what I'm saying? And before we head out this week, I'm going to leave y'all with an affirmation like I have almost every week. Okay. This affirmation was actually sent to me this morning, and I said, this rings very true. This rings very true. I am a magnet for loving and nourishing relationships and connections. I am a magnet for nourishing and loving relationships and connections. Ashe, 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 ashe. I feel it. I love it. I receive it. I love y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you don't already follow me on Instagram and Twitter at The Funsexual, do that. If you don't subscribe to the YouTube channel, do that. You can watch me. You can see me. Look, let me show y'all something. I put on some motherfucking eyelashes and some motherfucking eyeshadow for y'all. Before I recorded this, I was wearing a sarong. I put on a shirt for y'all motherfuckers, okay? I put on some glasses for y'all, and I want y'all to see that, okay? So check out the Funsexual podcast on YouTube. Share it with somebody. And listen, I'm about to reach 10,000 followers on Instagram. I'm hyped. This is a big fucking deal. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, do that. Help me reach my 10,000. And I love you guys. Peace out.